If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com, and of course you can use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? I'm here. Welcome back to the road to glory. I went back and forth as to what to do today, and I think I've just landed on this. I played some rivals yesterday, needed to get to rank 2. Picked up my rewards. At the moment, I have 18 packs to open. They're all gold packs as well. Quite a few 35k packs in there for Future Stars tomorrow evening, of course. That, like I said, was it yesterday or the day before? I said that the Road to Glory on Friday will be out quite late, and the reason for that is because I will do something in the day, like a player review or something, and then I will do 6 o'clock content where we either just have a breakdown of the new icon swaps, the squad, and so on and so forth, and then I will do the packs for the Road to Glory. I will also be doing an absolute boatload of two-player silver upgrade packs, because a lot of the Future Stars, hopefully at least, will have silver bases, right? Now, I went back and forth as to what to do today, because I don't need to play rivals today. There's not really any point me doing that. We could just buy a player, jump into a game and have a bit of fun. But what I decided to do was just record everything I did yesterday. I did a Jordan Henderson review on this account. I bought Jordan Henderson on this account and I reviewed him on this account. So I'm going to show you some of the gameplay from that as well that you wouldn't have seen in the review. Some of the goals, some decent goals from Jamie Vardy in there as well. And yeah, we'll just have a little discussion. I'm going to go through every single comment that we had in yesterday's video, and I'm just going to talk through it. There's a couple of there's one index comment in there which I'm going to talk about. I am about to record a dedicated video for that as well after this, so if you do have any questions or you're interested in that. My cat is playing with the blind, and at the moment doesn't matter. Let's move on. So top comment is the legend is back, Marco South. Thank you for including him in the team. I want to do that more often. I want to go back through, not necessarily legends, but I want to go through a few of the players I either liked in previous FIFAs that now maybe don't have great cards, maybe they're silvers, maybe they're even bronzes, who knows. I'd like to go back through some of those cards, bring them back and play with them, or even cards that were good last year. So I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head that we had last year that was really good. I can't think of anyone like that was insanely good, like Bale, for instance. I wouldn't mind picking up Bale and playing with him and seeing if he's as good at this year as he was last year. I've used him very briefly at the beginning of the game when I packed him, but I didn't keep him for any length of time. So if you've got any suggestions of players we could maybe bring back, not necessarily the quality of Bale, but like silvers or bronzes that were good in previous FIFAs. The other comment here is from Lilt, or Lilt-T. Lilt-T, yeah. Lilt, I like Lilt, but I think your name is Lilt-T. He says, these youngsters will never know the OP of Sao from FIFA 14. And no, you're right. I forget sometimes that not everyone has played FIFA for as long as I have. So, I mean, I remember playing FIFA back when Tony Adams was in the game, when the game was literally just a bunch of blurred pixels back in FIFA 96. But, I mean, I played it before that even. I am literally the most OG of FIFA players you could possibly get, because I've literally played it from day one. That's me bragging as well, by the way. But no, yeah, some people have picked it up in FIFA 15 and won't know that Marco Sau was an absolute legend of the game. There are several players still left playing in this game that obviously their cards have been absolutely butchered now. But yeah, Marco Sau was insane. I didn't even explain that in the last video. Marco Sau was crazy back in the early stages. I think FIFA 13, 14, maybe even 15. Kind of like the Alexander Esvine, you know, he was crazy for like 13, 14, and then sort of fell off. There were quite a few players actually that just spring to mind straight away that were absolutely mental back then. They were so good. Aaron says, no pack for Lunar New Year, and giving untradeable SBC packs is an absolute travesty. They genuinely don't care, and it's heartbreaking. I agree. I would love to know why we didn't get any sort of Lunar stuff this year. It's for the first time in a long time. I think it's the first time in about 5 or 6 years we've not been given anything Lunar related. Was it FIFA 15 they brought the Lunar stuff in? It might have been 14. I think it was 15 though. I think it was the first proper FIFA of a new gen console, which was not 14 came out halfway through the cycle, so it was 15 was the first, like, at launch it's a new gen, and I think that's when they first introduced Lunar content. But yeah, mad. I mean, I log in, and I actively logged in on my other account that I don't necessarily play on every day. I actively logged in on that on the web app, companion app, and sometimes on the game, just to make sure that I was getting all my days in, because I wanted that 125k pack. Didn't get it. Am I annoyed purely because of that? No, it's just one of those things, like, it's an event around the world, and they did kind of half celebrate it, because they acknowledged it. You know, they dropped the kit, they dropped the ball, they dropped the stadium theme, they dropped, well, I suppose Tifos come under stadium themes, but they dropped a few things in relation to Lunar, but they didn't drop the main reason we all like that. You know, the half price packs and the free pack. The free pack is the biggest thing. If they'd said, look, we're not doing half price packs this year, okay, would have been uproar, sure, but at least we would have got that 125k or the 100k or the 55k or whichever, how many days you've logged in for, right? Why they haven't done that is beyond me. Maybe there's just too many promos and they didn't want us packing things for free, which I don't know. I'm not going to try and stick up for them. Absolutely horrendous. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. So, HG says that he's been trying the 87 rated headliner Alassane Pla, and I still get stick for saying his name like that, but I've googled it, and that's how French people say it, so there we go. I used him yesterday, and he was alright. I struggle this year, like I did last year, actually. I suppose to a degree I am abusing the meta. Last year, I got a lot of stick for abusing the meta, you know, with the crossing and the first-time shots and the finesse shots from the edge of the area and such. And I couldn't really use anyone that wasn't great in the air. You know, like Ronaldo and Bale were my go-to. Those two together were absolutely insane. Loved it, right? But this year I can't use anyone who has less than, say, 87, 88, 90 agility and who has less than 87, 88 pace. I struggle to use these type of players. But, no, he was decent for me. The newly upgraded Alassane Pla. I was going to actually review him. I was going to say interview him then. I was going to review him, but I thought to myself, look, if I'm reviewing him, what's the point? Because I'm reviewing it for people who already own him. If you own, go try him. If you own him, go play with him. He says that he smashed in 10 goals in 2 games, and he's fun, and he might even give him a weekend league run. I liked his... remember we picked him up as the red pick? I loved that card. I used that for ages. I think he was 84 rated. So the 87 is definitely an improvement, obviously, and he is a good card. I've got myself into using these really high-pace, high-agility players now, and it's going to be difficult for me to get out of it. But I do want to start just going through random players and using different players and seeing if we can get on with them. Sometimes, on my other account, I'll go into games with bronze teams just for a laugh. Just, if I go 3 or 4-0 down, I'll just leave and give him the win. But I'll go in and just test, just to see, can I win with a bronze team? I'm going to go into this game, my opponent's going to think, oh, he's dropping divisions or something. No, not doing any of that. I'm going in there and I'm going to play and I'm going to see if I can beat you. They rock up with their Mbappes and their George Best icons, and I'm literally playing there with League 2 bronze cards. And sometimes I get the jump on them, I get the goal, I then defend valiantly and I lose 2-1. But it's fun to do that. So the more you play with that, then when you jump into a team like Neymar and Mbappe, or you've got your Hazards and so on, they then feel insane. And I don't know why I brought that up, but I thought I might as well suggest it. Not suggest it, I just read the word suggest. I thought I'd just say it. Shots saying that I suggest you keep all your rares regardless of the league, because eventually there will be an SBC requirement for 11 rare bronze/silvers, what have you. The thing with that is I open a lot of bronze packs constantly, so I've always got cards. If I was to keep my rare bronzes, honestly, I'd have about 6,000 items in the club. I checked yesterday, actually. I've got 3,100 items in the club, which is the most I've ever had. Even last year when we were rinsing League SBC method, I had no more than 2,500 items in the club at any one time. Now I have 3,100 in the club, and I'm still going. So last year, I did the same. I used rare bronzes, non-rare bronzes to do the upgrades, and it was fine. I opened so many bronze packs, I just keep stacking them up again. So honestly, I'd end up discarding them for nothing because they don't sell for anything. Now and again you'll get a marquee matchups or an SBC that pops out that requires a certain card, like a Polish bronze or Polish rare, and sometimes they go up a couple of 100 coins. But honestly, I'm just going to keep using them. I open enough bronze packs to get them back anyway. Danny Gallagher says, off topic, but if Ben Yedder signs for Barca, which I can't see happening, to be honest, will his card remain League One? Yes, it will. I presume you're talking about the ones to watch. And if that's the case, then yeah, I think so. I mean, he'll get another ones to watch if he moves. It's deadline day today, right? But yeah, if he were to move to Barcelona, which I can't see happening, I've never even heard of that rumour. He will probably be issued with yet another ones to watch, and then he'd have 2 on the go. I think that's happened before, actually. But either way, yeah, he just stays as a Barcelona player. Don't want to pay 650 coins for this card and then see him move to Barca. So you're not talking about the ones to watch. You're talking about, no, that remains as a Monaco card, and then he will be reissued with that Monaco card. Then will not be in packs anymore, and then his Barca card will go into packs. Is Kante better with a powerhouse chem style? Do I use him with a powerhouse chem style? I do use him. I guess so. I just whacked a powerhouse on him straight away, and that's the chem style I've been using on Kante since the very beginning of the game. I love it, and I love him. He's my favourite player in the game, hands down, bar none. He's absolutely insane. So Mark drops an interesting. It's one of those. I think so, but does it really matter? Sort of things, right? I appreciate the comment though. Mark says, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time they dropped the Brazilian team objective for swaps. So you have 11 Brazilian players, and the All English one. Leading up to it, they gave us SBCs that corresponded to those players from those nations. So, for instance, they were dropping loads of Brazilian players, then they dropped loads of English players. Now, the theme has been French players. Of course, we had Valbuena, we had Kenny Lala. Pretty sure there was someone else as well. So does that mean that we're going to get Remy? That was the other one. Does that mean that we're going to get first owner French objective this week? I mean, if that's the case, then it kind of gives you an idea going forward. It's confirmed then if tomorrow they drop the first owner French requirement. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the only thing that tells you is, I need to keep my French players. But yeah, it's a good observation. It's not something that I considered before. And finally, It Ain't Obese says, you said you only buy players from the top 5 leagues on Football Index, but you have Kovalenko. Kovalenko is from Shakhtar Donetsk. I actually own a few players who aren't from... I say that's a lie. I own one player that isn't from the top 5 leagues, and that is Viktor Kovalenko. I don't own many of him. I would like to top up a little bit. Basically, yeah, I own every other player that I have. It doesn't actually tell me how many players I have on the index for some reason. It doesn't give me a number on the actual website. On the app it does. And I'll go into this more detail when I talk about it when I do the video. I've got 16 players right now. I did have more, and I will have more by the end of today. But at the moment, the market is down on the index because there was a technical issue with something that happened earlier. Otherwise, I would have bought a couple more. But yeah, I don't like to buy players that aren't in the top 5 leagues. Basically, you earn money for top 5 league players when they perform in the league. So, for instance, if you buy them the first 30 days, you're eligible for goals and assists. Every time they score a goal, you get a penny per player, so per share. So if you own 100, you get a pound every time they score a goal for the first 30 days, or assist, or if they're a goalkeeper, a clean sheet. So, yeah, you don't get that outside the top 5 leagues at the moment. I think there are plans to bring that in. And it's the same with, you get like overall performance. So if they finish like top of the midfielders based on the scoring system that they have, they call it the matrix. If your player finishes top midfielder, you get, I don't know, what is it? Like, depends what day it is, but it can be upwards of 8 pence per share. And obviously, if you've got 100 of them, that's banging money. And then, of course, if they finish at the very top of the index, which is called the star player, you then get 8 pence again. Which, of course, if they finish top midfielder and star player, that could be a massive amount of money, right? But you don't get that with players outside of the top 5 leagues. So I do try and only buy players in the top 5 leagues because I'm very interested in earning money that way, you know, earning the what they call IPDs, which is in-play dividends, and then earning PB, which is performance buzz. So, yeah, I don't tend to buy people outside of the top 5 leagues, basically. However, now and again, if there's a player that I see is very cheap, so for instance, Kovalenko is only 54 pence, or was only, 53 pence when I bought him. He's now 57 pence, so I've earned a little bit of money on him. But, yeah, when I first bought him for 53 pence, He's been playing well in Ukraine. He's still quite young, and he's just showing promise, and there is a few European clubs that are interested within the top 5 leagues. So now and again, it's worth just taking a little bit of a punt on a young player who could potentially get a move. If there's enough buzz around them, like Haaland, for instance. Haaland is one of the most expensive players on the index, and was even when he was back in Salzburg. So the fact that he wasn't even in a top 5 league, but he was banging them in the league, and he just looked like he was always going to get that move, the traction gains and people start buying him, and then the money goes up and up and up. The more people that buy in, the more money you make, essentially. Champions League does count as well, of course. Shakhtar, I don't know what the situation with Shakhtar in European football is right now. I've not even looked, but obviously you do that. The Champions League counts as well, even if they're not a top 5 league player. So there we go. But Kovalenko is at the moment the only player that I actually own on the index outside of the top 5 leagues. I know a lot of you don't care about that, so I'm not going to dwell too much on it. But that brings us to the end of today's festivities. It's a bit of a weird one. All I did was go through the comments. We talked about it. What's going to happen tomorrow? Future Stars, man. I'm so excited for it. I really hope we get a few players that I'm actually... I didn't have Future Stars. I was looking for a docket that I wrote down. But anyway, let me talk about some of the players. I really, really want a Liverpool player to get one. I'm sure they will. Curtis Jones is like on the top of the list, I would have thought. There are a couple of other players. Laruzzi would be the one that I want the most, the Liverpool left-back. But I can't see that happening because he's just not that sort of well-known amongst non-Liverpool fans. But I would imagine Curtis Jones is going to be the player that gets it. But regardless of Liverpool players, I just want a load of, not necessarily unknown players, but players who have silver base cards, players who have really low bad stats as gold cards, and then just get these massive boosts. I want those players, and I want it to be like it was last year. The top end Vinicius Jr. players were like 1 million coins, ridiculously expensive, that's fine. But the low end was really affordable, and I really want it to be affordable this year, and I would love some upgrade packs to come out. This is the promo that I live for. This is the one that I want to plow everything into, so I don't care if I just rinse the entire club. Today, or rather tomorrow, is the promo that I go nuts on. I want to pack as many as possible. I want to buy as many as possible. I want to use as many as I can. So let me know in the comments which Future Stars card you hope gets released. Not the one that you would be looking for. Well, no, that's a lie. I suppose it would be the one that you're looking forward to most. There have been a few leaks, but just let me know which one you want the most. If you could pick any Future Stars card to come out tomorrow, who would it be? It has to be under the age of 23 as per the stipulation, but apart from that, it can be anyone. Who would you want? Let me know. And then tomorrow, I'll go through some of the comments and we'll have a look at the team when it gets dropped, and we'll see how many of you are going to be very happy and how many of you are going to be very upset. That is going to do it for today's episode, though. I apologise, it's literally just talking over gameplay, but like I said, I'm just waiting now for Future Stars. But if you have enjoyed it, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.